What's going on, everybody? It's Orion612 back again with a slightly different video. This time I'm going to be creating a PvP build vid. Oddly enough, I'm no expert. I am a no expert at PvP, but there is a build I wanted to test out and a uh, skill issue I wanted to solve, I guess you can say. We are going into a void blink build. Yes, blink. I've been trying to learn it in PvE just to learn kind of how it works, and now in PvP, I'm trying to learn it with map knowledge, um, disengaging and engaging in battles, and the tiny little secret tech behind the helmet that allows me to get somewhat of like a free damage perk the way last Thursday used to get with elemental honing. Uh, this is giving me a damage bonus just off movement tech in close engagements, whether disengaging, re engaging, or jumping in to break their ankles and applying a volatile debuff to them. It's about a 5 to 8 meter range, so the weapon's ready quick at a blink. Radar remains up, which I don't know if it fully does. It buffs your Nova Warp Super, and your Dark Blink doesn't cost super energy, provides a moderate benefit to airborne effectiveness, which is nice when you do juke them out. The secret tech behind it is aggregate charge. Now, it's one of the new perks of Ash and Iron with the reissue or reskin. I think it's like the third or fourth or fifth time we've gotten Mida Mini Tool revamped. But aggregate charge, the weapon's going to deal more damage for each elemental debuff applied to the target. Uh, it's 10% per debuff, and it goes up to 30%. Master of Arms is the easier go-to, whereas this is a fun little play on giving yourself a free buff. Almost two sometimes with this build to get a 20% damage bonus. I think Master of Arms is 15%. But let's go over just the build, the stats, the weapons. The map this week in Trials is Dissonance. So it is a long range and short range map, depending where you are. I'm running just Cataclysm. I haven't gone full pin with the Nova Warp movement tech and putting that in. I know you can get this super quicker in PvP than you can with Cataclysm and Vortex. So this is just good old reliable. That's basically what it is. And I know there's like random buggy counters with like a cold snap nade, but yeah, let's not go too crazy with it. But Healing Rift, Blink, Pocket Singularity. This update was buffed. You get 2 charges now. Suppressor Nade. The Suppressor Nade, one, it's a debuff. 2, it's situational with the 3rd, 4th, or 5th final rounds. When supers do come up, you can take them out of it. Running Child of the Old Gods. 1 to weaken. The ticks also mess up their flinch during shots. It kind of causes confusion, gets them also off you because they want to defuse it quick. The sound of it coming towards you, kind of like it puts you a little bit in panic mode, so it's nice. Feed the Void, obviously, to get Devour. Echo of Dilation, when you crouch, you get enhanced radar, which is fantastic at close range because you know exactly when they're pushing and how precise they are behind certain areas of the wall if you're taking your time and creeping up. Starvation, you pick up a Void Breach, you get Devour, so that pairs well with Feed the Void and getting your kills when you have an enemy debuffed and they do drop the Void Breach. Echo of Leeching, so because we have 2 Pocket Singularities, when it comes in that you do disengage from a battle and you know he's low health, you throw out your Pocket Singularity, hits him, You get a plus 10 to health, which is nice, and your health starts regenning in case you weren't doing too well in that gunfight. Echo of Vigilance, defeating a target while your shields are depleted grants you a temporary void overshield. This is great during a duel when you know a second combatant is coming close and you finish off one enemy. You get somewhat of either Devour, the overshield, or both. It's a little emergency replenishment on your health and your shields. So that's the build. The stats obviously are health. PvP health is a big must. Depending on certain builds, certain hunter builds, you won't need the health. Certain hunter builds, you will need the health, depending on which weapon you're using. But we get a shield recharge rate at 42.8%. We get 70 health per orb, 10% flinch resistance, which is nice. That synergizes with your chest piece unflinching mods. Melee, I didn't go too much into it for either damage or ability cooldown because we do have two, and they are situational to either apply a debuff for our aggregate charge, or just to back the enemy off, make them volatile for potentially other warlocks that are in your team. When they are volatile, it does kind of mess up their screen a bit temporarily as well. So, grenade, I went with suppressor. 87 is nice. If I can get to 100, it'd be perfect, just to reduce the ability cooldown. 100 super is kind of a must if you do want to get your super off in the 4th or 5th round as a clutch moment, when, if say they pop a well or a bubble, or you have someone coming at you with a silk strike super or something like that, you blink up, make them volatile, throw it down, boom, they're done. Class, don't need much of the class, because when you do send out your Child of the Old Gods and it's successful, the ability regen is nice. And I'm not sure if I really would need Child of the Old Gods every round, because there is a lot of the movement tech behind this build, making them volatile and just actually using gunplay. I'm not a big fan of ability spams, unless kind of like PvE. PvP, I think that's more on the Titan end, with the strand builds with the high melee, the one-shot melees, and the glaives, or the barricade spam for bull charge, and I'm not a big fan of it. Anyway, weapon, again, these things don't really factor into my build as well. I think if it did, it would be more like a Last Thursday 189 elemental honing times 2, but I'm not using a prismatic subclass to get multiple elemental honing debuffs on enemies, so we kept it low. The armor pieces, I don't know exactly which 2-piece or 4-piece bonuses I will need. Eventually I'm going to learn them for PvP, because I've spent about a month away from PvP just like that. I don't know, I was doing other stuff. Seeing as it's a little dry now, why not hop in? I did want to try and get a tier 5 ever burning glitz. I haven't gotten one yet, and the fusion rifle, the burden of guilt, I did manage to get a decent one here. I know these perks paired together are fantastic. I got accelerated coils with enhanced, but I think you can get up to like 85, 90 range on this with the correct roll. Outside of that, my boom slang, that's just my classic heavy, works very well. I switch or interchange between unwavering duty and corrective measure, depending on the map, or it's just preference, really. The mods, we need some targeting mods, obviously, for our gunplay. I have a harmonic siphon, just I think I have one more point, so that's just what I went into. The focusing strike, I have 2 melees, so why not double down on these, because I won't be using my nade quite frequently, maybe once or twice, most 3 times per round. If I really get off a Child of the Old Gods weekend on multiple enemies, I get a big uptime on ability regen. solar reloader for my SMG. The Scout already has pretty high reload, so it reloads quite quickly. Unflinching again. This I have to change. Just been a little lazy. Enhance athletics. So Hunter has a huge advantage over just base movement speed and jump height compared to Warlock. They are at the bottom. It's Hunter, Titan, and Warlock. I think it's 15, 10, and 0 for Warlock. So Astrocyte Verse is an exotic that is paired with movement tech. So I amped these up to kind of just meet on par with the standard base movement speed in a gunfight, and 2 movement tech, because Warlocks, they're float locks, they're up slow up in the air, their jump is slow, if they're up in the air they're easy targets, whereas if I'm blinking higher, I'm engaging in fights and having my strafe speed a lot quicker. It just makes for a little bit more high octane kind of gunfights, and I do match the speed of it, which is nice. I got Bomber, distribution for all class abilities, and Reaper, so when I do send out my Child of the Old Gods and I do get the kill, I get an orb, I get Devour, I get a few bits of energy, regen, and yeah, that's basically it for that. On my artifact, seeing as it is a solar SMG, I can get Fever and Chill, which will give me a 15% damage bonus, on top of aggregate charge, which is 25% damage bonus on a 900 round per minute SMG, and it deletes. Here I get class ability energy if I'm buffing enemies. I don't know if I'm actually buffing them. I just have it on because there's not really much else outside of my void build. I have refresh threads just because I have a strand weapon on. I have semi-auto striker to potentially get armor charges from my scout rifle if I am hitting rapid precision shots. I have scout again. I have shoulder to shoulder, so if we are team shotting, I will get a little bit of a DR boost. And when I am radiant, here my grenade will recharge, so that is one of on the lower end stats like my melee, and it deals increased damage. So if you do throw it out when you have shield crush buffed, it's nice to get the little boost in damage. And I do get a void overshield from one of my fragments in my subclass. So I will also get a melee buff and a melee damage buff. And here this is paired together, all 3 of these, with the Mida mini tool. So I'm shooting out those little scorched things that could potentially hit other guardians around them, the one that I'm dueling, or the actual guardian themselves, and they deal decent damage. I think it's like 33 per hit, so it could come in clutch last minute that one of these things actually lock onto the enemy. It's hard to see it, but they do work. So yeah, that's the build. These are the stats. Those are the mods. That's the artifact. The learning curve for blinking is pretty steep. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard. I can see why there's very few blink users, man. But once you start to get there, and I would recommend doing it in trials alone, because it's one singular map. I know they sometimes have like 2 or 3 map rotations if they do like advise us, but learning map knowledge, engagement knowledge from the team that you're going up against really comes in handy with blink. And pairing Child of the Old Gods weak in, Astrocyte, volatile, and then the aggregate charge and radiant, you're looking right there at a 35% damage increase just on your weapon, and it's paired with heal clip. Here would be nice to get maybe Ricochet or Accurez. I'm not sure which one it rolls with. I think it's Ricochet. But you get the kill, you reload, you have Radiant. You might have lost your aggregate charge, but you have also still Radiant going, because you killed them with precision hits. And you have Master of Arms, which is just a flat damage bonus. You can get it ×1, ×2. I believe it's 15 and then 25% for ×2. So this is a fantastic SMG for up close and personal. I would imagine on a PK Titan this could go pretty crazy. The Master of Arms and heal clip, but again, I haven't played on Titan in probably about 4 or 5 months, so I'm out of the loop with that as well. The Vanguard Determination, the final blows with the weapon grab you bonus DR, so you get a DR on that. This not really needed. The Roar of the Battle one. And yeah, that's my build. I highly recommend it. It's very fun to use. It's you have in some moments where you're like, I'm dead, and you blink out and they're just lost where you are. They're lost where you are on the map, and you're landing behind them. You're debuffing them, and then just bang, bang, bang. You get 1, 2, 3 kills, 1v3. Somehow you're winning. They're lost. Like, a very patient Guardian can just watch you go and do all your bouncing around stuff and take you out. But yeah, this was a cool experiment, and I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna keep learning Blink even better. And I know Blink with bow and Blink with Eager Edge is a whole other thing I'll have to learn. So, seeing as it's very quiet and dry content till the exotic mission and Renegades, I'm gonna be doing just odd vids like this, build vids like this, either in PvP or PvE. So don't forget to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down below with trials and the change. I had posted a video that it's kind of like quick play now. There's no prestige left in reaching the lighthouse. The grind of the rounds seems to be more efficient at a specific light level and guardian rank level. Leave a comment. Don't forget to sub. I love you guys, and I'll catch you in the next vid. All right, peace.